hate to be
way,
your fucking knees.
It will jolt my
325
fucking
pounds jumping.
joints everywhere, bro.
Pass.
Like it's a real deal.
Yeah, you'd have less inflammation if you didn't eat ice cream 7 days a week. Saw your little Instagram post.
Weekend,
7 days a week.
No, I had three
7 days.
3 out of 3. He was on track.
Bro, I haven't really ate ice cream in so long. And this summer I just started dabbling.
So I was when I went on vacation. I had to have it every night.
Ice cream. Yeah.
How long was so long ago? It's like 3 nights ago?
No, no, for real, no bullshit. Like, I eat like shit, but like, I just haven't had ice cream for some reason in like years. This girl made me
It's not even real ice cream.
I got the dipped, and this girl gave me this cone. It looked like me. It was like a bowl of ice cream dipped. I said, you need to give me a cup. Like, I'm not going to make it with this thing, because you know when you get the shell on it, it starts leaking?
Yeah. Then your wife starts looking at it, and you're like, yeah, that's my ice cream.
She didn't touch that. It was gone. Yeah.
Are you a big cheat meal guy?
In the off season, I probably have about maybe upwards of 3 cheat meals a week. Yeah.
It's just one meal?
Almost 4. Yeah.
3 cheat meals.
3, yeah.
Well, every meal's a cheat meal for you, buddy.
My metabolism is just so ramped
different.
up. Yeah. And when I do a cheat meal, it's like not like not good. It's like an actual like shitty.
What is it?
Does it make you feel like shit?
Oh no, because it's off season. So
What is your cheat meal?
See, it's like usually like some big ass pasta or something, and then I follow it up with like some kind of pastry drizzled in chocolate or something like that. There's always has to be like some chocolate drizzled in there.
Okay.
And then that doesn't even count as finish the meal, because then I go to a dessert specialty place. I don't like ordering a dessert from like a restaurant. It has to, like, the whole restaurant has to serve nothing but desserts.
Okay.
That's how I know it's good.
Okay.
Yeah, I always go to like this place called Sweet Nell's, and I just order like their crepes loaded up with like Nutella and honey and ice cream. And
Sweet what?
Sweet Nell's. Yeah, it's in Delaware.
Where's that?
Delaware, like right near the Concord Mall on Concord Pike.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so that's where I go.
It
like,
used to be something else. The diner.
Oh yeah, it did.
What was it? Lucky, right?
It's
about the one near the Arby's.
Lucky's Coffee Shop.
Yeah.
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 I think they're done because they found rats.
I never went there. Yeah. I did go to that Arby's a lot.
What? That Arby's still there.
I know.
I don't know how it's.
I pass it.
I don't know how it stays in business. Nobody eats Arby's. You eat Arby's?
I do eat Arby's.
Dude, he knows off-menu items.
Yeah.
You're the only person keeping that place in business. Nobody buys Arby's.
Dude, Arby's is nasty.
I found the one
When's the last
person in
time you had
America that eats
Arby's?
Arby's. Oh my god. Maybe 7-8 years ago. I don't know. It's been that long.
Yeah.
You know?
I think when I went with you, I didn't even eat it. You just
You
ate
had
it.
Arby's.
I don't think I ate it.
You're the one that wanted to go there.
No.
Yes, you did. You were like, "There's an Arby's here."
Accusations.
I know.
But people always say that. They're like, "Who goes to Arby's?" And
You
it's
do.
me. It's me.
You're the only person in
Yeah.
America keeping that place in business.
Yeah, the one near me though, up here, is just trash. I can't even go there anymore. They make me so mad. Like, I don't know who owns that one, but they're either never there or just are getting high on like heroin and cocaine.
Whoa.
Cause like that place is ran like a fucking dude. All the kids that work there are like out back smoking weed when you pull up to the drive-thru, and like they're just sitting there. Like none of them are walking inside to like help you with your order. It's the worst.
It's either
Help
that
yourself,
place,
buddy.
It's either that
I
place
would. They don't want to let me in that place.
It's either that place is really good or it's you're utter trash.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If the help is like that. The only thing I liked about Arby's is I remember a very specific menu item that they always have: the chocolate turnovers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Their turnovers are fucking unmatched, and people don't realize this. Like, no one knows about the turnovers. I introduced it to so many of my friends. And
Why is
they're
it a
like, "This
limited time
banging."
item?
Like,
Yeah.
it's not. The chocolate one is.
Yeah.
I get the apple or the cherry because they do the warm drizzle of the cream on top themselves. Like, I'm telling you, it's so light and flaky. You want to talk about pastries?
Dude,
Are we rolling?
Yeah, it's gone.
This is quality content. This is good.
I would never. I don't think I could ever do Arby's ever again.
Why? Did something happen?
No, it's just like there's so many other quality shit foods out there that you can eat.
Yeah.
It's
I get the hankering for their the sliders. So they got these like dollar sliders between $2 and $5. They're $1, and they have like this buffalo chicken one that they like drizzle like ranch or blue cheese on top. I think it's ranch, and it's so good. They're on King's Hawaiian rolls, and they're like
shit.
yeah. And they have like
good.
they have a jalapeno roast beef one where it's just a roast beef with cheese, and they like how do I want to say this? They flutter jalapeno, chopped up jalapenos on top. And then they have like these other ones that are the buffalo chicken ones, and I get like probably like 3 to 4 of each, and then a turnover.
Just a Hawaiian King roll mentioned.
They're banging.
I know. I haven't had those.
Have you had
in
the
forever.
pretzel
Dude, he's
ones
gonna
yet?
go to Arby's tomorrow.
Have you had the pretzel one yet?
No,
Oh.
I haven't gone near an Arby's in like so
No,
long.
Arby's doesn't have them, but if you go to the Acme or wherever, any of your local grocers, they have the King's Hawaiian pretzel buns. And it's like a salt. They even put the thick, like the big salt on top and everything.
Like
yeah.
the big rock salt.
Yeah, I'll open up a bag on the ride home and just start smashing them things.
Last time I had King's Hawaiian rolls, I was just like, they don't even make it home. I just take
That's what I'm
the
saying.
whole pack of 9 out.
Yeah,
Just hold it like this. That's it.
incredible. You know there's 9.
It's yeah.
This man's no stranger to King's Hawaiian rolls.
You guys are like the same guy, just slightly different
Yeah.
physiques.
Slightly.
Slightly.
I don't know, bro. You are hairless.
I'm pretty sure you're stronger than me.
Well, that's what I get for eating Arby's every day.
I don't know. That would mean
Oh,
that
you
I'm
don't know?
stronger than you because
I mean, but
I'm
I-
stronger than him according to
Oh,
our
there
last
you go.
workout
But
this weekend.
but the thing is, I look stronger.
Yeah,
You
Dude,
definitely
that's-
do. You definitely do.
That's the
stronger.
realest shit in the world. It
That's the
doesn't
thing about
matter what you
bodybuilding,
do.
right? Yeah.
You gotta look like you do it.
That's the thing with bodybuilding. You know, you're up there, and you guys like, oh, look at this guy with like 20-inch arms or whatever. That guy's curling 25s.
Yeah.
Yeah,
don't-
it's a funny thing.
I tried to do the powerlifting thing one time, and that was just nah. I
Really?
tried. Yeah, it was just like I just felt like it was just too taxing on my joints. Because especially for like my
Yes.
weight, you have to pull like a massive amount of weight.
See, the difference is like you get cheat meals. If I was to try to bodybuild, I would never see a cheat meal a day in my life. So that's why like I choose the cheat meals. So that's why I had to choose the bad joints in powerlifting.
Wait, you do powerlift, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you bodybuild or powerlift?
Neither.
Neither?
I just come here and hang out.
He-
No, I used to powerlift. I used to coach Penn State powerlifting when I was younger.
Okay, cool.
I had an injury to my back, and I kind of quit powerlifting. I made a slight comeback a couple years ago and did a meet with him. But I got hurt twice in prep.
Oh, that's
and then I got hurt at the meet too.
Oh, what the fuck?
So it's just like, you have to know like how much shit you've put your body through over the years.
Yeah.
I was a baseball catcher for 16 years, and then I went into powerlifting for 10 years. Like, my body's had
10
enough.
years of powerlifting is a long time.
It's a long time.
That's a long time
Yeah.
of taxing on your joints.
Yeah.
How'd your nervous system feel? Like, did you feel like a little jittery or something? Or
Yeah, I just feel like you ever see like an old guy get up and he's like real stiff and he's got to like work it up to like stand up straight.
oh yeah, there's that little groan too.
Yeah, I do that. It's just that's how I feel all the time.
That's every day of my life.
So now like when I work out, I just work out like I'll do a movement and focus on like the mobility aspect of the movement because I feel like it stretches the muscle. It makes me feel better.
So you do like more athletic training and stuff, like athletic
Bodybuilding.
functional training.
No, I
You do
would say
bodybuilding.
like it's a bodybuilding routine, but my approach to it's not like probably like yours.
Oh,
it's
man,
probably
my-
just
What's your
different.
approach?
very, very strictly bodybuilder. Everything.
No, but
is,
I mean, like, how do you train?
typical bro split,
Okay.
2 body parts a day, and just like that's it for like almost 10 years.
Like chest
You never
tries,
change
back
it?
buys, like
It's funny. I don't train my tricep. There's certain body parts I don't train.
you're bullshitting.
Yeah, no, for real. Like I don't train it because I'm just like
Give me a flex.
like I'm either like
I'll
what?
try it.
Dude, your arms are huge, man.
Like I'm either genetically blessed or
Smooth.
I am doing the exercise wrong. So, like, so people ask me, it's like, how do you get your triceps so big? I'm like, I don't know. I don't train triceps. And then they show me like I look at pictures of me bench press. He's like, "Oh, your grip is so close. That's how you train triceps." And to me, it doesn't feel close. You know what I mean? But the other people's like, "Yo, that's how you get your triceps." And I'm like, "That's probably why I got a small chest." So, so I've been doing exercises wrong for a long time, and my calf is also like extremely developed. It's like the size of a football.
Let me see those.
Yeah, and people are just.
Can't
even get it off. Wow. You ain't lying. Holy shit.
What the fuck?
Good gracious.
Pro level calf, man.
Pull them babies up for the folks at home. Oh my god. All right, put them away,
insane,
dude.
Man.
Yeah.
So people ask me like,
what do you do for calves?
Yeah, what do you do for calves? And I'm like, I don't train my calves. They're like, no, shut the fuck up. I'm like, no, I don't. I literally walk. If you notice it, you might see it, but I walk with like maybe my heel about half an inch off the ground the entire time, and I don't realize I walk like that. So I've been walking like that for like almost all my life.
So you're in like permanent hypertrophy.
Yeah, like I just don't realize, like my body kind of my calves kind of when you do that, they make your body thinks it's heavier than it really is, and because your calf will respond by developing and all that. So that's just a vicious circle that's just been happening. And I didn't realize until my dad said something to me. He was all like, "Why are you walking like a fairy?" And I was like, "What?" And then he goes like, "Yeah, you're on your toes." And then like I just put my heels down, like, and I was like, "Oh my god, I'm short." Like, holy shit. It's like, this is what it feels like to have all your... I'm like, oh, this is so weird. So then I started, like, try to walk on my heels more. It's like, it's never coming back. I just walk on my toes. I have a little permanent hop in my step for the rest of my life. Huh. So that's why when they do the weigh-in and everything, every time I go weigh-in for a show, and they always take the height. I don't know why they take the height. At this age, we ain't growing anymore.
Yeah.
They always go stand straight. Stop standing on your toes. I'm like, oh, yeah, that's me.
Ryan takes great pride in his calves, but they are not like those.
Mine?
They're not like his, man.
No, let's not compare my body to this guy.
I do no weightlifting with the calves at all.
That's crazy.
That's literally just walking.
I believe it, though, man. That's what I've always said. It's just genetics, man.
I believe that you have to have decent genetics to at least be good at bodybuilding.
Well, yeah, that's
I mean?
that's a whole nother. But just for calves,
can you even make that argument though and say it's genetic? Because you're telling me that your calves have been under load since you started walking.
Yeah, pretty much.
But that's not genetics, though.
I don't. Well, I mean, just for the fact that they developed that much and everything, I see world-class bodybuilders whose calves are like nowhere near genetic like that, or nowhere near built like mine.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting here going like, these guys actually like train theirs. And I've never trained mine. I just walk. You know what I mean? So,
were they like that like before you got into bodybuilding?
Oh yeah, they were like that before. That's why everyone like looked at me like, "What are you doing with your legs?"
Were you like self-conscious?
I wasn't self-conscious, but it's like I was aware of it. You know, I was like the calf kid.
Yeah.
I was the calf kid. It was like, you see that Asian guy? It was like in high school, you see that Asian guy, and they're all like which one? The one with the big calves? And they're like, "Oh yeah, bro, don't piss him off. He will kick the shit out of you." Like, yeah, I didn't even have any like I was like one of the only Asian kids in high school, because like there weren't many of us, so I didn't have any like Asian friends to hang out with, so I just hang out with like the black people, and like no one would mess with me. You know what I mean? He's like, don't hang out with that Asian kid. He's sitting at the black table. He's got street cred, dude. No.
Dude, it's so funny how much different things were when we were growing up versus like the kids now. Like I feel like they don't even have that type of separation or anything.
Oh no. Dude, it's so weird because this younger generation, they're very much technology reliant. And back then, you know, when we were kids, what's cool is like smoking dope, hanging out, basement parties, that kind of thing. Going to the mall sometimes when you're younger, right? Yeah.
Bonfires.
Nowadays, the malls are like non-existent and everything. You know what's cool is these kids that are in their high school age and like middle school age, it's hanging out at the gym.
It is. Yeah.
That's the cool thing to do. I see it all the time at the gym I'm going to now. Around like, you know, like
where are you going?
Between Edge Fitness and Media. Okay. Between 3 and 7 p.m., they're like all these edge fitnesses have like this little indoor field with the turf.
Yeah.
And you just see it, like the freaking the high school football team, the middle school soccer club, and everything. Everyone just hangs out. You have 5, 6 preteens hanging out at the bench press, just hanging out at the bench press, sitting on it, texting and everything. Just, it's like the cool thing. The gym is like the new mall, so to speak. You know,
dude. It's funny you say that because I said the exact same thing to a buddy of mine. I actually use the mall as a reference too.
It's cool. That's the cool thing, and they all have the same thing with the camera tripods and everything, because TikTok is a thing now. I don't even have a TikTok, you know what I mean?
I actually made a TikTok last weekend.
Did you?
How was
No,
it?
like I did one. I don't have a TikTok. I did one with a friend of ours.
Did you go viral?
Daughter. Huh?
Did you go viral?
No, I don't think she even posted it. I don't think I did it too good. But yeah, I tell you what too, we were in the Pizza Hut, which I haven't had that in years.
Dude,
and
they paint the butter on the pizza.
Listen, I go in there. Honestly, we wanted to go to a bagel shop that was in the after we were leaving Asbury Park, and the bagel shop was closed. So we just went into Pizza Hut. Of course, I got a stuffed crust. Okay, while we were waiting, I was doing the TikTok, and like this dude walked in. It was just very embarrassing. I was like, "Pardon us, we're doing a TikTok," and he just looked at me like, shook his head. But you know,
dude, your cholesterol might be higher than your next squat.
I don't know, bro. I don't know, because every time I go to the doctor, they're like, "You're good."
There's no way.
Every time I go, I'm going next week.
Is he a real
find
doctor?
out.
Did you get a second opinion or a third opinion?
Dude, it's my whole life. I've had great blood pressure, great everything. I don't understand it.
Dude, just...
We'll see, though. I'm sure.
Nah, forget that doctor, bro. You gotta go see a vet because you're a beast. Oh, man! I wanted to use that for so long. Nice.
I was at the vet the other day, too. My dog had to go. $400 for that visit.
The vet's also his pharmacy.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, dude.
How many pets do you have?
Just one dog.
2 cats.
Yeah.
It was a bargaining thing with my wife.
He walks the cats, though.
I don't walk the cats. My wife used to walk the cats.
one cat is
but now
okay.
we have a baby, so we don't even pay attention to the cats.
Poor cats.
How
many pets do you have?
I got 2 dogs, a cat, and a turtle. And a raccoon that visits every, week in the backyard.
Nice. We used to have a cat like that.
Oh, yeah?
And it stopped showing up, though, so we think it's dead.
Every time this raccoon comes, I would...
Do you feed it?
Yes. He would come just hang out in the backyard porch it's night, and I would just open. I would have something in my hand. It's either a cookie or something, and I would just hold my hand out, and he would come up with his little paws,
No way, really?
And then he just disappears into the night. I stick my hand out the door so he's doesn't fucking jump on my face or something.
Yeah.
I'm not, but I just here you go, and he
I've
just
never
grabs
heard
it
of
and he
that.
just leaves.
We've been getting deer in our backyard, and we have 2, I guess, baby fawns.
Mm-hmm.
And yesterday they were running laps like dogs around my yard and my neighbor's yard. I've never seen that before. This is,
Well, fawns, right?
well, yeah, just playing like dogs. I didn't know they did
I
that.
see deer all the time, but I've never seen a fawn in person. I don't know how big they're supposed to be or anything. All I know is that every time we have deer come around my property and everything, I lose sleep. Because we have a wooden patio that's raised off the ground, so it's hollow on the bottom. And I know these bastards are clip-clopping all over it because my bedroom's right here, and right outside is the patio, and I just hear just all the time. And then the foxes is my first time hearing a fox. I have never ever heard a fox. I thought
screech?
Yeah, I thought something was dying.
Yeah.
It was and it's right outside my window too. I just hear this. Ah! I was like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
Go outside.
Yes.
What is this? See the fox run off. It's there's no way that's a fox. So
Yeah.
I had to Google what a fox sounds like on YouTube and everything just to make sure I'm not fucking losing it. I was like, oh my god, that's really how they sound.
We had a mange fox just come up to our door and just lay there. And I don't know if it was on its way about to die or what, but just
How do you know it's mange?
you can tell about the hair color.
You try to touch it?
No, God no.
Come on,
You
man.
don't know what you're gonna catch.
What if you catch superpowers?
Foxman.
Just fixes my back.
He just pounces around.
Do you ever adopted any wild animals? Like a fox or anything?
All right,
You
so
tried?
my wife's brother took in a coyote.
No way.
I swear.
Like a full adult?
Yeah, so he has a body shop or a mechanic shop out in L.A. And he was, I don't know, I guess working one day, and they have coyotes in L.A.
Yeah.
And he caught it. It was a baby, so he caught it and then like put it in his house for a couple
I'd be
weeks.
scared as fuck. I want to
Yeah,
do that.
they're-
That's scary.
Yeah, well he's a little strange sometimes, but yeah. So he had a coyote for a couple weeks, and then I guess he called like whatever government program
control or
yeah,
something?
like
Yeah,
animal
or-
control. And they were
okay.
supposed to like take him up to some mountain or whatever and let him go. But yeah, he was sending us
Ugh.
videos and stuff of like a coyote in his house.
Nah, I would keep that shit. I would keep a coyote.
I don't know.
No, they
I don't
would.
think so.
Really?
Yeah,
They don't listen.
that's not your friend.
Ah.
My dog doesn't listen, let alone a wild coyote.
But he raised it since it was a baby, right?
For like 2 weeks. It was
that's
still a
enough time.
baby. It was still a
How are
baby.
you going to bodybuild and raise a wild animal?
Just to like bring around like a leash, like a badass. You know what I mean?
You can't just bring a coyote in the gym, dude.
I mean, Michael Hearn brings his fucking wolf dogs everywhere he goes.
That's Michael Heron.
Yeah.
I know. I mean, if he can, he claims natty too. Come on, man.
Well, he claims Botox as well.
Ah.
Isn't like duck eggs or something?
What?
Isn't that what he said? He gets like his growth hormone or something from the duck egg seeds. Something like that.
I watched a thing where they made this like I forget what it was. I was watching it, but they actually go over his whole life, and like he's never, how like people on juice like fluctuate all the time. Like he's always been consistently
Same thing with Cena.
that
I
size.
don't believe that at all.
You don't think somebody can, maybe not to his level, but get kind of close without drugs?
Genetically, he's just blessed. I heard his whole family's like blessed like that. Like
I-
his brothers.
50
I
something.
stayed.
Well, he does get Botox.
I
That's
stayed
why he looks
natty
fake.
all the way up until May of last year.
No shit.
Yeah, May of just last.
When did you
year.
turn pro?
December. It took me 5 shows to become pro.
How long did you train for, Natty?
About 12 years, consistent.
Yeah.
Like consistent, like
That's
not
such a
Dude.
good foundation.
like
Yeah.
pure bodybuilding. Just like eat, sleep, everything without the performance.
Did you
enhancement.
tell everyone you're Natty?
Oh, they didn't believe me at all. I'm gonna show you a picture.
What would you
Yeah, I
believe
wanna
if
see
I
the-
told you that he was?
I'ma show you-
Yes,
picture.
because I'm small.
I'm gonna show you a picture of me natty,
Oh.
completely
Can we
natty,
show this to the?
Yeah, if he sends
people?
it over, we can put it up.
completely natty.
Let me see this.
And you don't believe Mike O'Hearn's Natty, and you look like that,
That's
Natty.
completely
that's
natty.
this is the point that I've been trying to make.
Completely natty.
Is 12 years of training, no drugs.
Does that close up?
No,
Yeah, it'll get close up on you. But we'll add it to the video
Yeah,
afterwards.
okay.
But like, this is the model for what bodybuilding should look
Send it
like.
to him.
That was
Send it to him. We'll put it on.
Okay, cool.
That's
That's
insane.
pretty crazy,
Yeah.
bro.
That's insane.
that was completely natty.
Were you a pro Natty?
No,
Where do you compete, like Natty, the OCB? Is that what that is?
that's what they do.
You don't have to. You can compete natty in the NPC.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but it's just that the OCB.
They're not gonna make you take drugs.
If you look at a national level competitor on the NPC versus a national level competitor from the OCB,
Oh, I seen it.
worlds apart.
Yeah, I know.
Worlds apart. Like you could definitely tell.
You're like Doug Miller in that picture.
I don't know who that is.
Really?
You don't
Yeah,
know
no.
Doug Miller?
He's like borderline like the best natty bodybuilder of all
He
time.
looks crazy.
He
bro.
does. Yeah, he looks great.
Like
Nah.
you seen his picture, like where he's like bent down flexing. He looks ridiculous.
I would question it. Yeah.
You should
Oh, everybody questions it.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
we had a like an event in 2019, and we had Stan Efferding here, Evan Centopani.
Oh, cool.
We had Meadows here. We had Steve Kuklo. A whole bunch of people, and we had them all on like a flyer that we were handing out to the customers. Everybody goes, "Holy shit, what's that guy taking?" And they pointed to Doug Miller, not any of the other
Oh
people.
man,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that's if you live that whole bodybuilder lifestyle without the performance enhancement aspect to a T, or pretty close to it, you could see absolutely phenomenal results. You know,
What did you weigh?
During that photo,
Yeah.
I was probably about 176.
You look 220.
Like I look
You
huge
do,
in that,
yeah.
right?
Yeah, you look.
It was crazy, but so the thing about bodybuilding is that everyone will tell you like you look great and all that by yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when you stand next to everyone else, then your flaws become so apparent. So I learned that lesson when I did my first pro card attempt in 2020 when I was completely natty against all these other enhanced bodybuilders. My weaknesses stood out like a sore thumb.
What were they? Not calves.
No, definitely not.
Definitely not. It was like overall size and everything.
Okay, yeah.
Overall size. I thought it was kind of an accomplishment to make it into the first call out, almost breaking into the top 5.
Yeah.
As a natty.
Wow.
And then after that, I was all like, maybe it's time to become a real bodybuilder.
But that's
Stop
what
pretending.
That's what it was. Like that, losing that show, missing top 5. It was like, this is what I need to do.
After that show, I took a whole year to kind of grow, and I did until once May hit, I stopped seeing consistent progress. Even though when you were natural, your consistent progress is much slower. I noticed for like a few months at a time, my progress, my weight stayed exactly the same. It would not go above. I would not be waking up faster at a new weight, even by like half a pound every like 4-5 weeks or so, And when you're natural, like that's consistent progress.
Right.
But then once that stopped, me and coach had this long talk, and it's like it's time to stop playing around, time to do what serious bodybuilders do.
Yeah.
So then we started playing with the performance enhancement bag, very basic level, so to speak,
Right.
at the very, very beginning, and my body responded tremendously.
Because of those 12 years prior of training,
Yeah.
you already had the right habits, right? So you understood sleep and recovery. You understood your nutrition pretty well at that point.
The sleep was big.
Yeah.
That's what I emphasized more so than everything else, because I understood that during that time, that was the only time your body's actually recovering and building lean tissue. So I was like, I had to make sure I at least get my sleep in. So I took sleep aids all the time, just make sure I was just completely knocked out. Yeah, that was.
How long do you sleep? Or were you? Either way.
I always make sure I get 8 hours total.
Okay.
Like total. So not necessarily like I could sleep 6 hours a night, but like those extra 2 hours, I make sure I get them in somehow, like in a nap or something. Like as long as it's within that 24-hour period, I make sure I get that 8 hours.
It's probably been 4 years since I've seen 8 hours of sleep.
Oh, bro. You know how big you could get? How many hours?
Tell you what, if I could look like you with a couple extra hours of sleep, I might have to commit.
Oh, it's a little bit more than chicken and rice at this point, I'll tell you.
When you switched to the dark side, did you enjoy it? Like, did you enjoy better lifting? Were you able to metabolize food differently?
Once I switched over to that dark side, I know after about a month, my body was changing extremely rapidly in terms of like strength was the first thing I noticed. Like it shot up. I was literally breaking PRs. I was repping PRs. Like that never happened to me. I was like, all of a sudden I shot up like maybe 5-6 pounds in like four weeks or so. And I was like, this is, I can see why people call this the dark side now. And, I'll say this. I was like, dude, I will never, ever go back to being natty. Hell no. Natty was cool because I did it for like over a decade.
Yeah.
But now it's like, nah, man,
Well,
this is fun.
You paid your dues. A lot of people don't, right? A lot of people start off, taking PEDs 6 months into training.
I personally believe you need to push your natural genetic limit if you want to see true results before you decide to take that extra step. Because like if that's wasted potential. You could squeeze everything out first and then add it in.
Well, I feel like a lot of people don't have the dedication to learn, right? So those 10, 12 years that you were training, like you were really learning your body, right?
Yeah,
like you were going to school on your body. And a lot of people, if you don't know that you need 8 hours of sleep prior to taking, stuff, you may not grow. You may not get the results that you wanted out of them. And then you're just taxing your body.
I was obsessed with bodybuilding. I still am obsessed. But back then I was like, I had this like unhealthy passion for it. Everything was bodybuilding. I had posters.
Who's your favorite bodybuilder?
Of all time? Kevin Lebroni.
Okay.
Yeah, Maryland Muscle Machine. Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah, he just has this whole aesthetic that I really like. Like, he's just very balanced and everything. And everyone's all like, oh, he needs more back. Well, I need more back too. Okay, so like, I see myself in that. You know, we got the same haircut. He shaved his head. I shaved my head too. It's like, it's perfect. Flex Wheeler's another one for the overall aesthetic. And I want to say Ronnie, but now, because like he's like everyone's favorite bodybuilder.
Yeah.
But he's just too dense for my image that I want to portray. You know, I like that fullness, that overall small waist and everything. And Ronnie was cool, but he was just like, he was at his time, his generation, he was a super freak.
Yeah.
And that's what everyone wanted at that time.
Is Livroni and Flex Wheeler what made you go into Classic?
No. Classic was like I didn't, my legs were already so developed that men's physique I felt was a waste. And Classic didn't exist at the time. And open bodybuilding was just so far from what I was now. And I was all like, you know what? I'm going to try and push for open bodybuilding because I don't want to be men's physique. I just knew I wanted to get on the stage somehow. So I just kept pushing to try and get bigger, look bigger for open, you know, look very bodybuilder. And then that's when Classic Physique came around, I think around
15?
Yeah, it's like
14?
15 or 16.
Yeah.
And then that's when my coach told me, he's all like, this is your category. I was like, all right, cool.
This is your time.
This is it. And then 2019 was my first competition, Classic. And I dominated that one. Yeah, I've only done a total of 6 shows total now. You know, and then from 2019, haven't even been competing that long. And now I kind of have a good grasp on like how to compete, how to pose, everything bodybuilding. But this was like over years of knowledge accumulation.
That should be the point, though, right?
Yeah.
Like, you don't want to rush it, and when you do present yourself, you want to be, you want to have a good package. There's no point in stepping on stage.
I'm trying, but you know, once I enhanced, I wanted everything quick because that came quick. So, do they test you in powerlifting?
There's 2 divisions. There's untested and tested.
I like the untested.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
it's good because it's
Everybody
like,
does.
you know, there's no cheating. It's like you're competing against people that are on the same page as you.
That's the same with untested, right?
What?
Well, that's what he's saying, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like everything's an option.
Like, yeah, like you're either in untested or you're in tested.
Mm-hmm.
Either one's fine, but it's a level playing field.
It's
Okay.
not, though, because, you know, I mentioned before, I
Well-
lost a regional powerlifting meet to a guy who runs powerlifting meets in the
Okay.
South, and he ended up testing positive.
Yeah,
So, like,
obviously
it's
there's
just- people
cheaters,
still play.
but,
Yeah.
you know. And then you get to see who like the real freaking natures are that are in the natural division that are still doing more than the enhanced division.
Like Ray Williams.
Yeah.
You know, he's been drug tested a million times. He
Yeah.
squatted 1065 with just a belt.
Yeah.
What?
No knee wraps, no squat suits.
And he
none
didn't
of,
die?
and he walked it out.
Oh,
No
man.
mono lift, none of that
What
shit.
the hell?
Dude, he's
Sorry.
400 pounds, and he took his shirt off. I went to go see him compete in D.C. He took his shirt off, and he was all muscle. It's 400 pounds. He's just nuts looking.
Oh, Jesus Christ. And he's natty?
Yeah.
He's tested at least.
He's tested natty?
Yeah, I mean, I would assume so. I mean, he's a pretty straight shooter. But the most amazing part about him, though, is he actually has his PhD as well. So he's like this freak athlete, but he's also pretty smart.
Oh, my God. You know,
Yeah.
the brain is a muscle, you know.
That's a whole other thing. And it's like, I get with bodybuilding how when you enhance, it helps. But then, you know, there was, I was listening to something one time, and this guy was saying that if he was an enhanced, he would have won this meet. It was against Larry Wheels. What was his name? Dennis Cornelius. And I like Dennis.
I remember
was a
that
big
podcast.
fan.
Yeah.
And he goes saying, like, it's like you chose to compete. He wanted to compete in the untested and try to beat everyone because he's a strong as hell natty.
Right.
And he lost to Larry.
And he got mad.
So he started saying, if I was an enhanced. But you don't know that when it comes to strength because, he's so genetically blessed. Who's to say that he would get that much out of gear?
Well, aside from that, like, it could make his body tighter. Like,
Right.
he could add
Yeah.
adverse effects
Exactly.
that Larry Wheels may have to compensate for, right? And if you don't do that, maybe you have an injury. Maybe your joints are too dry. You took too much anti-estrogen, and you're having joint pains and stuff. There's just so many variables. You can't make that argument.
Yeah, it's just I just hate that. Like that was just I when he was arguing that, I'm like, come on, man. Like you chose to compete against him, and you lost.
Like he knew what he was going up against.
Yeah. You can't say, it's like saying if I dieted, I could walk on stage and compete. Like, you know what I mean? Like you can't just put out claims.
I mean, that's what I say to you every time we lift together.
What?
If I was on what you were on. I just did it to get
Well,
under his skin.
It's great and all, but it's not like there's definitely some like downfalls to it, obviously, on your life, like on your heart and shit.
So many people think that just taking enhancement is instantly gonna boost their performance or their physique development to a whole nother world.
That's the problem with the Instagram kids these days that hang out in the gym. They're on their phone the whole time. They want to get big like you. They start a cycle of like, and these kids are starting to trend, dude.
I had a 17-year-old come up to me.
Yeah.
And he goes like, I want to be like you. And I said, like, what do you mean? And then he explained to me like, I want to be like a bodybuilder. I want to look like you. And he goes like, I want to like just flat out. He goes like, are you taking steroids? And in the industry, when you just go up to a bodybuilder you don't know, it's like
taboo.
Yeah, it's rude. And like if the kid was older, and it wasn't me, and he was asking a bodybuilder that, he probably would have got jawed right there. You know what I mean? Because that's like rude. It's more. It's not rude to say like, do you take enhancement? Like the word steroid is like it's like using the word butt versus ass. You know what I mean? It's like that. They mean the same thing. It's just the vocabulary.
Fair.
So I would explain to me like, what do you want to use, kid? And he goes like straight up, 17-year-old's like, I want to use trend. I'm like, what do you? It's like, what do you know about trend, kid? And he goes like, I heard it's king of the steroids. I'm all like, dude, you're not even out of school yet. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You have no business playing with this thing. You can't even spell it right.
But this is the problem with giving the wrong people attention, right? Like when you give Boston Lloyd a ton of attention, and he has kids on a ton of performance enhancers, and he's YouTubing it and telling other people what he's given these kids, they just think it's normal. It's not normal.
A lot of these kids think that like the only way to reach, especially because Instagram is a big culprit in this, attain this like godlike physique or whatever, is to just the only way to hop on that is enhancement. That's the only way. They see all these Instagrammers who like they like to blow up these pictures and everything. I was over at NPC Universe to see new pros, national level show, just this past weekend. And I see some of these big name influencers come in to compete. And on pictures, they look amazing. They look huge. Like, they look really big and everything. And then I see them in person, and I'm like, holy crap. I'm way bigger than these guys. And this just this was sent to me from one of my followers regarding one of these big influencer guys. I think you guys know his name.
I mean, we'll blank that out.
Yeah. All right. Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
I know of him.
Yeah. So this
know.
is me next to him. Like, they caught me. Just a size difference.
You make him look like a child.
That's just size difference.
Which one is he?
That's the guy with the huge following, like 300,000 followers.
What's he
or something.
do?
He's like a fitness influencer or everything. He tried to go pro, and then that's me, like
in
an actual
classic?
pro in men's physique.
Well,
he tried to do classic
men's
one
physique.
time. Yeah,
that was the thing. Like back in the day, if you turned pro, you were supposed to be able to compete at a pro show.
Yeah.
But like that dude would never be able to compete at a pro show.
There was some controversy in the placings during that show, during that whole thing regarding these influencers. I'm not gonna like say it direct. I will just say that the placings were very questionable.
Okay.
And I will say, like, the audience and the crowd picked up on it and were very vocal about it. So I'll just say that, And everyone says it's politics and everything, and I understand that the fitness industry is a business.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna say that these guys got into the judge's eyesight strictly for the social media following, but there is marketing value in that. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna say it does play a part.
And bodybuilding's, in the competitive sense, right, is kind of dying.
Yeah.
So,
So the open bodybuilding is slowly becoming more of like this niche category, and classic is becoming kind of more the mainstream.
Okay.
You know, because everybody wants to look like the classic
C-bum.
guys. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Everyone wants to be C-bum.
he's the best thing that happened to bodybuilding.
Everyone wants to be Chris. Chris
Yeah.
is like the golden boy right now. Everyone is trying to beat Chris right now.
Do you think he has the best physique?
Right now, I think there isn't really a competitor that can catch him. I think he's the farthest ahead right now.
He's like,
know what
what's
I
his name?
Breon?
Yeah.
I like Breon.
You like Breon?
I understand his waist is a little blocky for classic,
Yeah.
but I think he's a great bodybuilder.
The thing is, Breon is slowly, the judges are kind of showing the classic world that his physique is not ideal for the image that they want classic to be. And it shows in the placings, you know what I mean? And every year you have more of these freaks of nature in the classic division start to come up more and more. You know, this German kid Urs, and then there's that Brazilian sensation Ramon, and of course Terrence is slowly
Ruffin?
Terrence is slowly on the heels of Chris. So like it's crazy that these guys, especially Terrence, hasn't even nowhere reached his weight cap, which means that these guys can still develop more muscle tissue and come in dry. Like, are you kidding me? Like,
And C-bum only does 500 tests.
How the hell would you know that?
I listen to the podcast and shows and shit.
Oh, and that's all he takes.
He has an autoimmune disorder. He can't take
yeah.
more than that. I believe him, though. I think there's a lot of genetics with that guy.
Come on.
Come on, what?
500 is.
Listen,
I will say a lot of pros.
It messes with his kidneys and shit. That's why he had trouble before. So they said he had. I mean, I don't know what he does exactly, obviously, nor should I. I'm not like in his camp, but I believe that he does less because look at him. I mean, he's tall.
I will say a lot of bodybuilders do cruise on like a low dosage of like between 300 and 500, and they can still build tissue with that. It's just because they know how to train, they know how to eat.
You can build tissue on
Yeah.
like 120.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
He's
Well,
always
they
like that.
did studies where they would put people on low dose on an HRT protocol, and they wouldn't even train, and they would build muscle tissue.
Dang, HRT protocol? I want to be pro. Hell no. Nope. That shit would not fly with me.
I do think it is good nowadays. You can find out a lot more. You just have to, like you said, pick the right people. But you can find out a lot more information on all that stuff, you know. And for the kids coming up today, like, I mean, if they're following the right people, they'll learn a lot of information that was never out there for, like, guys coming up.
Would you have done anything differently?
I don't know.
In regards to enhancements?
Yeah, I don't know, because I waited a while, too.
When did you start?
When I was, like, 26.
Okay.
Ryan has a 600-pound raw bench press.
Had.
Raw. Had?
Well, he did it once, you know, but it still
Did
counts.
it once.
What would you do? Lost it? I'm just kidding.
It goes up and down, bro.
Oh, okay.
Depends how the
You can't
shoulders
do that
feeling.
you can't do it every day, bro. But
60.
I don't think I would have done anything differently in my life.
I don't think
You really took that much stuff.
No, but it's just
Honestly.
like I just don't think I'd do anything differently. But I just think it is good. YouTube has helped me so much in everything, though. Man, it's like
It's free information.
you remember.
literally,
Yeah,
right?
you remember when I used to come to
You
you.
just have to hope it's valid.
Yeah.
Right.
That's the only problem.
Yeah,
You have
and
to vet it.
because you can find anyone to support whatever you want, right?
Right. So you can just look up confirmation bias
Yeah.
nonstop.
Yeah.
Like if you want to go like carnivore, you can find like the guys that are like, this is it. If you want to go like,
You know how
whatever
many
the
times
opposite
when I was on HRT,
veggie.
I would look up HRT bodybuilding just to see how big people could get. Like, can I get big enough to where I'm satisfied on just taking HRT?
It is, but it is
I can look
awesome
out.
though, man. You can just get on YouTube if you have a question or whatever. You can go on there and like there's doctors on there now, not like fake doctors. Like, there's a lot of those too.
There's
But like,
testosteronologists on there that I see.
Yeah.
that I go
Do you
to.
see a wellness doctor?
Huh?
Do you see a wellness doctor?
I mean, I have my family doctor.
That's it.
Yeah, like I see, like I run my blood panel with him and everything, and he's all like, all right, everything's normal, and then it gets to the testosterone, and he's all like,
3,000.
This is like retardedly high, and he kind of just gives me a look. You know, he looks at it, he's just kind of like,
He's staring at your calves and
like,
triceps.
he just stares at how I look, and I just give him that little wry smile, like, and he's just sitting there going like, all right, just be careful. I'm all like, it's the name of the game, doc.
Dude, you gotta see a wellness doctor, man.
You think so?
Yeah, they can script you stuff.
I know.
I swear that stuff makes a difference. Like the most of anything I've taken is 200 megs of test.
Okay.
But I swear that 200 megs of pharmaceutical is different than 500 of made in Mexican basement.
Florida.
Okay.
Yeah, I swear there's a difference.
I have no idea where my stuff is from.
Florida.
They claim Switzerland, but I'm like,
Oh, fancy.
It's actually West Virginia, and they slapped the sticker on there.
Switzerland. Like, it's a Swiss flag, but I don't know.
Swiss.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Yeah,
Sounds pretty
pharmaceutical
serious.
grade, huh?
Yeah, but I swear, like, not just that side of it, but managing, like, the estrogen levels with pharmaceutical anti-estrogens, and then even, like, your bounce back with HCG and Clomid, like, having the pharmaceutical versions of that stuff, I think just makes a difference.
Want to hear something funny? I've
Uh-oh.
never run an AI.
Dude,
Ever.
fuck.
Like,
You're
ever.
so lucky.
Like, ever. Even when I'm, like, preparing for a show and I'm start a blast protocol leading into a show, I've never run. Fucking nothing.
Are you always lean?
Huh?
Are you always lean?
I never go above, like, 10% body fat.
I think that's why. I think a lot of people have higher estrogen levels when they're fatter.
Yeah, 3 cheat meals a week.
I
It's still lean, though. It
That's
doesn't
what I'm
matter.
saying.
I gotta
I
put
know.
on size, you know. I gotta put on size. Gotta get big.
You're like, what's his name from the UK? Nathan.
Oh, Nathan
Always,
Dietary?
yeah, he like has cheat meals all the time.
That guy's a freak, man.
Yeah, he's funny too.
I think Sean Rogan was like that, too.
Sean is a genetic freak, also. Those guys.
And he was the guy that got after it when he was older.
Yeah.
You know, which gives washed up men like me hope that one day I can diet.
Yeah, when Classic first came out, a lot of the hardcore bodybuilders were like, that's the cheap way to get your pro card.
Which one?
Classic.
Really?
Classic?
Yeah, it's the cheap way to get your
I
pro
feel
card.
like that's physique.
What do you think about that? Dude, some of the physique guys are
I
massive.
feel
No,
like-
I'm not saying. Yeah, some of them are, but I'm just saying. Go on. We'll talk about that in a minute.
I feel like if you are a heavyweight in terms of the open bodybuilding in the national level class, if you are not competing at that heavyweight or higher, you need to go to classic or men's physique.
So light heavies are
Yeah.
not worth it.
Oh no! All right. Let me. All right.
Light heavies are 198, right?
Yeah. I would say light heavies or higher. You can compete in bodybuilding. Anything below like the middleweight and all that, like you better go classic or men's physique because ain't no one interested in seeing like
160 pounds.
160 pound bodybuilder. You know what I mean? Like open body. Like no one's interested in that. And as for the men's physique, I believe they need to fix men's physique and add like a weight cap on that category because you're starting to see guys in the men's physique category who are just so obnoxiously large. There's some of these guys are bigger than the classic guys, you know, and like they look like legit. They legit just look like bodybuilders in shorts.
Yeah.
And some of them are like they're so developed, but they don't work legs. And it's like that. This is a joke category, you know. How you gonna call yourself a bodybuilding category and then literally miss like half of the entire body? To me that's a little like that's not. This should not exist at all.
Yeah, the weird thing about like men's physiques to me is like the no traps thing. Like I feel like when they have these big shoulders, big chest, and they don't have any traps, it's weird.
I don't know what it is.
That is weird.
Apparently
you
the public
said that too. I didn't think about that, but you're right.
Apparently
Yeah.
the public eye just does not like that whole hulkish look, and it's like just beach body, it's tan. And
Dude,
all
there's
that.
nothing cooler than when you're wearing a tank top and it's lifted up because of your traps.
Oh yeah.
But
It's a very masculine feature. I agree.
Yeah.
But like people are just especially with men's physique, you know. And I understand on the marketing side, bodybuilding, they want it to be more mainstream and everything. And I think they could do that with classic. I think men's physique needs to have its rules changed. I think the legs should be judged. I think the shoulders should be
Yeah.
just a little bit
Like
hiked up more.
so you can
to
see
show
some of
Like
the
a
cuts.
5-inch
yeah, to show some
inseam.
developments. You
Yeah.
know what I
Like
mean?
a 5-inch
Yeah.
inseam. Yeah.
I think just having it not judged at all is kind of a slap in the face to what bodybuilding is.
It's an additional revenue stream. Sell the shorts.
Yeah.
Make
I-
everybody
Oh,
buy
yeah,
the
yeah,
certain
yeah,
shorts.
yeah, you're right, you're right.
So that way it's all even.
People just, I think if you go men's physique, I think for me that is the easy way to get a pro card. You literally don't have to work half of your body. You know what I
But
mean?
there are the men's physique that we know that
Yeah.
are phenomenal lifters. They're very good at it.
Oh yeah, I'm not trying
You
to
know,
take away
no,
any of
there
it,
are.
yeah.
Let's just to put it out there. There are a lot of men's physique, especially at the higher levels, that clearly they're just beasts. But
Do you think
But
you
what you
could have
say
turned
is
pro
true.
in bodybuilding?
As as an open bodybuilder.
Like yeah, like or
Or
light
212.
like
As a light heavy?
Yeah, 'cause that's where you would have landed, right?
Yeah, I would be around the light heavies. Not natty.
No, but I
Yeah,
mean
yeah.
like as is. Do you think you could be a pro light
As a
heavy bodybuilder?
Possibly. Yeah. But, I started off in classic, and I was all like, you know what? Because the light heavy, their maximum weight cap is 197.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's important to me to take any kind of limitation you have and maximize that. Actually push the envelope with that. And I can do that with classic.
What's your cap in classic?
Right now, it's 192.
Okay.
When I was amateur, it was 181.
Okay.
So I broke that ceiling when I was natural by like almost 13 pounds. So
Okay.
before I would weigh in for a show, I would be like 7-8 pounds over the weight cap, completely lean, and then I would just dry out 7-8 pounds of water and just weigh in half a pound or 1 pound below my weight cap. So then when I filled out with carbs and a little bit of water, I would go on that stage where people would question and be like, how the hell did that guy make weight? There's no way.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it's recorded there and everything. I did it painfully. Yeah. Most people don't do it that way because it's like extremely dangerous, but I like to push the line, baby.
So at the amateur level, it's 181
For my height.
for your height,
Yeah,
but at
when
the
you
pro
turn
level, it's
pro-
192.
Yeah, when you turn pro, you get that extra 10 pounds. So that
Okay.
way, when you do maximize that weight cap and then you go hit the stage, people will look at it and like be without question be like, these are definitely pros.
How much did you weigh at the New York Pro?
Toronto pro?
Is that what you did?
Yeah,
Toronto Pro?
Toronto.
Okay.
I weighed in at like 186, so my weight cap's 192. So like I still have like 6 pounds or so to put on weight, and to give you an idea about how much progress or how big a difference that is, 1 pound of lean tissue on a body part will completely change that body part.
100%.
Yeah, and like 6 whole pounds on a person of just lean raw tissue,
Yeah.
you're not even the same person anymore. You look completely different.
What was your feedback from that show? Like, what do you have to do to be competitive?
Bigger back, bigger chest. And it's crazy when I tell this to people that are like not in the competing level. They look at me like, bro, where? I'm like, bro, trust me. You seen, I placed 5th at the Toronto Pro, and they're like, how? They're like, how are you gonna like get bigger? Like, you don't need to get bigger. And I'm sitting here going like, bro, you are aware that 4 other people placed ahead of me. Have you seen these guys? If
Yeah.
you think I look crazy, dude, there are 4 other freaks out there that placed ahead of me. What about the guy that won the show?
Yeah.
And I showed them a picture. I was like, oh, bro, like, he looks, like, unreal. I was like, yeah, you should have seen him in person. That's what I thought.
Who was it that won that show?
His name is Tyler Johnson. Yeah.
Never heard of him.
Canadian. He got 4th in the Hurricane Pro last year. And I looked at his physique last year. I was like, okay, he's pro level. But then fast forward a couple months into this show, I don't know what he did. All I know is that he looked completely different. Bigger, harder, rounder muscle everywhere, more condition. And I believe he weighed in for that show about 0.2 pounds under his weight cap. So that's why I say, like, pushing that weight cap limitation, it'll make a difference.
When you do pro classic physique, you're not competing against people in your cap, right? So like everybody's under one blanket, but everybody has different caps.
Yeah, everybody, there's no more height cap. Everyone is just, when you're pro, you're just competing like pro. I could be competing against guys who are like 6 feet.
But
They
you
have
just
their
have to
own-
match your weight
Yeah,
cap for
yeah.
your height.
They have their own weight cap also.
That's
Yeah.
weird. Because you could be competing against somebody that's like 5 foot and somebody that's like 6 foot.
Yeah, but look at it this way, right? I think 6 foot, their weight cap is around 230 or 240. Now, my weight cap's 192. Imagine me competing against someone that's like 6 foot, but also 192. I am gonna look way bigger. I'm gonna look way bigger, you know. So they do that to max out their frame, but also they put weight caps in classic because they want to keep the integrity of the class. Because in open bodybuilding, because there's no weight cap, you get some super freaks. It's just unreal amounts of muscle in there. And then once you reach that limit or no limit, the lines get blurred, and then you kind of question like, all right, what is the real criteria of who's winning? Is it like mass or whatever? Because like everyone here like is just such a huge despairingly big difference in weight, and like most of these guys are like roughly the same height, especially, you know, like just like they're not tall, but they're like.
I think the bodybuilder height's like 5'8".
Yeah,
like,
it's like,
I feel like everybody's
it's like
5'8".
It's between like 5'7" and like 5'10" range. Like to see a 6 foot bodybuilder and open, it's like, dang, you must get all the pussy, huh?
I think Kukla was 6 foot when he came.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Can you imagine what it's like being that huge, muscular, and tall? Like something's got to give. Like you got a small dick or something. Like it's like not fair just having all those ducks in a row. And a manly job. He's a firefighter. Yeah, like something's got to give. You got to have like small nuts or something, bro. Like,
who's the most impressive person you've seen in person?
In person, it was definitely Chris.
Chris who?
Bumstead.
Ah,
yeah, he's the one that handed me my trophy when I went pro.
So he really looks like that.
Like it was even through like the shirt and everything, you can kind of see it.
Yeah.
That this very broad back, big shoulders, and this middle school girl's waist.
Yeah.
And you could see it through the shirt and everything.
And back was his weakness.
And it's like, all right, this is why this guy is like king of classic right now. Like I could see why he's hard to beat.
See, I saw him post a video like a year ago, and he was in his car and he's like making a video, and he looked like he didn't even lift. Yeah, he was just in like a t-shirt.
But I'm telling you,
the angles, because I seen him now in a t-shirt. Like he'll do videos. He wears like a normal baggy t-shirt.
Yeah.
You can tell in the videos like his like what do you call it, like the
yoke, like up here.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah.
You know, you can always see that with a dude that lifts. If they got like a big shirt on, usually their shoulders to neck, like that, they'll have that. Oh,
that little
stack. You know
that little
mean?
Valley silhouette.
Yeah,
they
like
get
he
on
has
top.
that. Yeah, like that's and that right there is the biggest like I want to say like the highest like a compliment I get when you look big through a baggy shirt.
Yeah.
So like, you looked at him and you just knew, you're like, all right, this dude is definitely like the real deal.
You can
like
definitely see it in like his shoulders.
Yeah.
And everything. Like you could see that little outline. I'm like, okay.
I think like when you see somebody with those big delts, and especially when they're wearing the baggy shirts, it's just like shit. Man.
Yeah.
Like, that guy's on another level. That's how it was when Stan came here. He was wearing like a triple XT or whatever he wears, but his shoulders were just all the way out here.
When I'm in a show, I look out for the guys that are wearing like this obscenely large shirt. That's like a Hawaiian shirt or something. Yeah, those are the guys.
Like a button down?
Yeah, like a button down Hawaiian shirt and backstage or whatever. Those are the guys I look out for.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all right. Because, like, I'm looking at how big it is, right? And it's, like, it's covering, like, all the way here, sleeves and everything. It's like, this guy is hiding some serious weaponry behind there. Yeah. Like, a full curtain to cover up everything. I'm like, all right.
That's what you need, a Hawaiian shirt, so you can just fool everybody.
I have Hawaiian shirts. I wore one this weekend.
It's a tradition for me to wear Hawaiian shirts at all my shows.
Yeah?
Yeah. It was just very loud, quote unquote, loud shirts. They're just bright neon colors, just happy. Like when you look at the shirt, it's like, man, that is very fucking loud. And
are you
happy
happy
to take to a church
when you're just depleted
for a show?
Yeah.
It's very
like when you're just
like I look at myself in the mirror, it's like I look shredded.
Right.
But then it's also like a cheesecake would be amazing right now. Yeah. Depletion is such a funny state to be in, because you want that drive to win, and then in your mind, because bodybuilding kind of fucks with you, because in your mind you're kind of you're used to this feeling of the more miserable you feel, like that's what you want to feel. You want to feel like shit. That means you're doing it right, and that's kind of unhealthy, you know what I mean? So most bodybuilders are all sitting there going like, how do you feel hungry? Do you feel tired? And do you feel like you're suffering? It's like, yes. And then the bodybuilder's like, oh, that's amazing. I love to feel like that. Like, it's like, nah.
Yeah, nah.
Depletion is not Not my favorite time. Yeah.
When we had Jason Arntz, you know him?
I don't think so.
He's a pro bodybuilder. He used to compete in 202s before it moved to 212.
Okay.
But he's competed at
an
the
OG.
Yeah,
that's an OG
he
right
competed
there.
at the Olympia. Really good guy. And but he was talking about how some of the shows he would do, he wouldn't even do cardio. He didn't need to.
When you're super lean, cardio's like detrimental.
Do you do cardio prior to a show?
Oh, yeah. I do cardio probably every day in a show, leading up to a show until about maybe 3 or 4 days before the show. Then I stop training completely. And I just use that time to kind of just recover and just relax and just...
Get your 8 hours in?
Yeah. When it's showtime, man, that's when it's like... We do the pump-up snacks, all the candy and the Reese's Pieces, the Rice Krispie treats, and just do a bunch of stupid calisthenic workouts in the back.
Dude, I'd be afraid to eat that stuff. You're eating clean for so long, and then you're eating candy. Dude, I'd need to wear a diaper up
Have you
on
ever had a
stage.
cowtail?
Huh?
Cowtails?
No, what is that?
See?
Wait, cowtails like...
Nobody eats that shit.
Hold on, I'm asking him. It's a caramel cream.
Wait, I think I've heard of this.
It looks like a Slim Jim at 7-Eleven, but
Yeah.
it's caramel.
Is that what
Cream
you
in the
call
middle.
them?
They're called cowtails.
Oh, man, I didn't know that was their name.
Nobody eats that shit. He
Well, they're
keeps them
technically
and Arby's
like
in
if you were
business.
like to go to like a
That's like an
candy
old school
store,
candy.
it'd be a caramel cream.
Yeah,
that's what it would be.
Okay, yeah, that's like an old school candy. That's like one of those like what else is old school candy? It's like these little rolls where they have like little cream in the middle. It's just caramel on the outside.
That's the same thing.
Yeah, that's what it is. Right?
They're called something else. I can't remember the name.
They came in like the clear packaging, and then they twist them.
Yeah,
Dude, they're
yeah,
old
yeah.
people candy.
No. That's the butterscotch.
Yeah.
The butterscotch and old person candy. I never went to an old head's house and they had freaking caramel creams in there. I'd be real excited.
What are
and I
those?
would remember
What are
that.
those fucking candies where it's like a strawberry wrapper?
Ah, yeah, they're good
That's
too.
like old people candy.
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
old people
yeah.
candy right
Yeah.
there. They would have it in like this freaking like random little like piggy bank or some shit that you just like.
While they're
So you
chain
eat
smoking.
candy. You eat candy on show day.
Yeah, show day. Probably like 30 minutes before I go on stage,
Mm-hmm.
I would eat like candy, like gummy bears, or like I would have like Rice Krispie treats.
Because you wanted to act so fast.
Yeah.
And spike
Yeah.
the glycogen levels
Yeah,
as quickly as
one
possible.
like I would be eating candy like still in my mouth, still chewing it, swallowing it while I'm doing push-ups and stuff.
Can we just clarify, is there insulin involved?
No, I've never used insulin.
Okay. I just wanted to ask because I didn't know if that plays an effect as far as the carb up goes.
Yeah, like insulin is like insulin and growth. Like you combine those two together. Like if you want to be an open bodybuilder, that's the recipe right there.
Yeah.
But as for classic, like I've never played with that stuff.
I was just asking for clarification. That's all.
I'm open to playing with that stuff one day. Like this is.
You got to earn it.
Yeah, I gotta see what I can do with all this first. You know what I mean?
Expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, if it's expensive, that's a good sign. That means it's real.
You got to go to that wellness doctor.
Oh man, yeah, that's how you can guarantee it.
You can. It's just going to cost you $3,000 a month.
Jesus.
A month?
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I don't know if I'm making that much.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to push it under insurance. That's why.
Oh hell no.
But the HRT, the DECA, the Anavar, you can push through insurance.
Oh, I got all that stuff. I'm good.
Do you work?
Yes.
And what do you do?
I work for DIA,
What's that?
Defense Intelligence Agency. I have like a no bullshit, like actual high class government job. We
Look at
should,
his
we
face.
should edit some of this stuff because like I talked about using PEDs on this, and I work for the government. Yeah.
Why don't we just leave out the
Wait,
job
what?
part?
That was like
It's like most of the podcast.
yeah. Okay.
But yeah, just for your information, like I do interrogation and debriefing for Defense Intelligence Agency.
Really?
He goes after criminals like you.
No, it's not like
I don't think they would waste their money on me.
like I talk to like you've already heard this whole spiel, but I so they send out like these. So there's like super nerds, I call them, or like professors that are like their specializations like robotics or artificial intelligence, missile defense system, or electromagnetic waves or something like that, and they go to like these conferences, these super science conferences or expos over in like Beijing or Moscow or something, and they go over here, and I know that Chinese or Russian people talk to these people. So when they come back, they know who I am. I introduce myself. This is special, like I'm DIA agent Eric Abelon.
Yeah.
And like I want to know what these Chinese or Russian people talk to these American citizens about.
How did you get into this?
Once I joined the military. in
Okay, so you
Yeah.
what branch?
Navy. I joined in 2012, May 17th. Yeah.
Okay.
And I've been in since, and then I like.
What made you
That was
start
it.
so late? Usually people dive right in at like 18.
Yeah, I was I wanted to live my life first. You know what I mean? Kind of explore what I really wanted to do first, and then like the military wasn't really all I wanted to do. It was more like an option of let's go.
Like a fallback.
Yeah, I was like, all right, let's do it. So then I did it, and it was. I'm not gonna say fun, but I've made some really good memories and connections just joining the government. You know what I mean? So
For
my
sure.
network really expanded, my resume expanded. I've learned some things and done things that you can't do just being in the civilian world. And having the government as a backing to be like, hey, go do this. In a civilian world, you would have to like financially to fund that, you would need a lot. And then the government would be like, all right, here you go.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, cool. But other than that, you know,
You weren't expecting that, were you?
No, I was not. I was not expecting that.
yeah.
Dude.
So I would go out to these people. They would give me like a profile sheet,
Yeah.
like a picture of them and like the addresses these people lived in like the past 5 years
Yeah.
and stuff like that. They've traveled and all that. And I would meet them at like a cafe or something
Right.
or whatever, and I would discuss like their trip over there,
Right.
who they talked to and everything. And it's very personality based. So I was just telling these two earlier about like you could tell if it's gonna be personality based if like we get along, and like after I would sit with them for like 2.5-3 hours just getting information, and we would like shoot the shit.
Mm-hmm.
And I've had times where it would be like, this is not going to work out. I would know immediately. I would say something like, like, hey, like there would be a house plan on the table or something. Like, hey, that's a nice house plan. Do you have plans? He's like, no, I don't like plans. Like that. And like, do you like, what's your favorite TV show? I don't know, I have a TV. Like just very cut and dry.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
That's how you talk to cops, too.
Yeah. Yeah, it was.
I don't talk to the cops.
You know, like, oh, you thirsty? You drinking water? He's like, I don't like water. It's like, it's very cut and dry like that.
So what? You just like pass them off to someone else?
Yeah, after like 10 minutes or so, I would just shake their hand and be like, hey, man, this isn't going to work out. Just up front, like, it's not going to work out. I'm sorry I wasted your time. I'm going to tell my people to send someone else.
Right.
And, you know, like, you have the great rest of your day. And it's...
So you don't waterboard them or anything?
Yeah, no. That was, man, waterboarding. Like...
Jason Bourne,
I
see.
don't even know if the Gators do that. You know, like the Gators that interrogate those guys over in freaking, what do you call it? I forgot the name of that island where they have like
Pelican Bay.
where they have only like 7 prisoners from the Taliban in there.
Pelican Bay, right?
No, it's
Guantanamo Bay.
yeah, Guantanamo, Gitmo.
Yeah. Where's Pelican Bay? That's right.
Yeah, and Gitmo, like those guys don't play. There's like only maybe like 7-8 prisoners in there.
Yeah.
All they do is fast all day. You try to talk to them, you're wearing a whole hazard suit, and all they do is just curse you out, and they just throw their feces at you. That's it.
Interesting.
Yeah, you just walk up. You're trying to feed them and everything. They curse you out in like Arabic, and they just throw their shit in your face, and you're just sitting there and like all right. Here's your food. Then you just leave.
Yeah.
So candy. You eat candy.
What actually? I mean, on that topic though, like, what do you eat? Like outside of cheat meals?
Outside of cheat meals? Oh, dude. It's like, so in the morning, I would have about 12 eggs.
12 whole eggs.
12 whole eggs, 2 cups of oats, and a banana. And then the rest of my meals is 12 ounces of beef and 12 ounces of rice for the rest of the 6 meals.
That's pretty.
I'm sorry, not 6 meals. 4 meals. Because 2 of those meals are a mass gainer shake.
You drink mass gainer?
I dig mass gainers.
You're a pro bodybuilder and you drink mass gainer.
Yep.
What the fuck?
Drink mass gainers.
You're an anomaly. Other than being natty, I hope nobody listens to that.
I drink mass gainers, you know. I got to get the carbs in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's mind blowing. But 12 ounces of meat's a lot per meal.
It
That's
is.
cooked.
It's a lot. Yeah, cooked.
Shit.
It's a lot.
Why beef?
I need the fat content to actually grow mass because I'm metabolizing everything so fast. I respond better with fats and then carbs.
Oh, here he is. Ladies and gentlemen,
This is
James'
my introduction.
please. He agrees with you.
I stopped eating carbs almost entirely.
Like, no carbs at all.
Just an intra-workout shake. And
Go on.
It sounds horrible, doesn't it?
At first I did for health purposes.
What are you on, keto or something? It sounds keto.
Technically, I guess, yeah. But I'm not doing it for those purposes. Like, I'm not hoping that ketones make me a smarter person or, give me this, like, crazy endurance energy or whatever.
Okay.
I don't give a shit about ketones. But I just did to experiment because, like, I'm not competitive. I don't really give a shit about anything. So, like, you're finding stuff. Every time you do a diet, you learn something, right?
Right.
And I will add carbohydrates in, but what's keeping me from doing that is I watch a clip of Charles Poliquin. Do you know who that is?
No.
Do you remember T-Nation back in the day?
Yes.
So he was like one of the main authors on T-Nation.
No way.
But
Really?
he used to coach Olympic athletes.
a lot more
And
than
I saw
that,
this. I saw this little clip on there, and he goes, "You don't need carbohydrates unless you're fat. The leaner you are, the more carbohydrates you can have." And I'd be like, "Well, I'm kind of fat, so that means I don't get any carbohydrates." So I just kept stripping them out, and then next thing I know, I didn't have any carbs. But I don't really care to eat that much, to be honest with you. And it's easier for me to get in high protein levels with eating less carbs. Because if I start eating more carbs, I skip out on the protein.
Right.
And it just works out better for me, at least for right now.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
I'm an anomaly. You, sir, are an anomaly.
No, I'm an idiot. There's a difference.
Man. He said that, not me.
But I'll change it. When we had Arns here last week, he suggested that I put in a little bit of carbohydrates in my first meal of the day.
Yeah.
So that way I break the ketosis factor.
Okay.
And, he thinks it'll fuel my body better. And eventually...
I was about to ask that. Like, you've never had, like, what do you call it? The keto flu or something like that?
So I've done keto multiple times, like low carb dieting, and I never got that because I think most people get that because they drop too many calories when they transition.
Yeah.
I don't drop calories. I go, if I'm at, let's say, 3,200 calories, when I transition into low carb, I'm at 3,200 calories.
Okay.
So I'm not in a caloric deficit. Even now, from before when I was eating carbs, I'm only 400 calories a day less than what I was eating.
Okay.
I'm not starving myself. I'm fine. I'm
Yeah.
eating plenty of food. I feel all right. And I whooped his ass in a workout this weekend. So, like, I'm 188 pounds. Like, what more could you ask for?
You're 188?
Yeah.
Oh, man. I would have guessed like 200.
I know. Thank you.
Okay.
They say, I used to say anything under 200 pounds is just an ugly girl. But now I'm sitting here at 188, and I'm like,
Oh, man. See, I just beat that. I'm 203. See that?
dude, it's crazy you're 203. When I was in college, I was in powerlifting.
Yeah.
I got up to 215, and I was probably half your size, if that.
Oh, man. I was this is the heaviest I've ever been. And I'm trying to push it to 210.
How's it feel being this big?
Like, waking up, like, I feel big when I wake up. You know what I mean? Like, not in a good way either. Like, I feel everything is just like I'm starting to walk like this, and it's like
So you add that in with the bounce.
it's like it's weird.
It's just
like,
moving all over.
It just like just sitting down, like my chair. I feel like it just sinks a little bit more.
Do your joints ache at all?
What do I what?
Do your joints ache at all from the extra weight?
No.
No.
I just feel heavy. Like, I've never felt heavy before. Like, I just feel heavy.
How's that feel?
Dude, if I was 203 right now, I would be doing jumping jacks, like spinning around.
Honestly, we probably have to admit you to the hospital.
You can't ask me to do jumping jacks. Like, just,
I'd be
just
so happy.
no, bro.
When I'm at like 250, I feel great.
You look your best at that weight too.
Yeah.
How much do you weigh?
I like 320 right now.
Oh, Jesus.
After the ice cream, but I'll go back down to like 312 after this.
He
after
competes
this
in
ice cream
308.
fades
Okay.
away. Yeah.
That's that powerlifting weight.
Yeah.
It's weird how bodybuilders
lot
at
of
like
candy.
250 are bigger than him at like 320.
Oh God.
Dude, like, muscle just is such an illusion.
Yeah.
When I lean down to the mid 180s, people think I look like I'm in my 220s.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's just the illusion of just being lean. The leaner you are, the bigger you look.
And it is.
What size is your waist?
Right now it's like 31, and then when I go to a show, it's like 30.
That's it?
Yeah.
I would have expected it to get down even further.
Yeah, like get lower, right? Well, the thing is that when I open up and the shows and everything, I like this and everything, my back just widens up and my legs are already like huge and everything, so it gives the illusion of that smaller waist.
I have a 28 waist.
28? Man, if I If I had a 28 waist, ain't no one gonna beat me. 28, that'd be amazing to have.
Yeah, even I just bought a pair of shorts that are like 31s.
Yeah.
And because they fit my legs nicer, and like I can pull them out like this far.
Man, I wish I had a 28-inch waist. That'd be fucking amazing.
I still don't look
I'm gonna
big.
leave
That's the
this
problem.
conversation right now.
Yeah, what size is your waist?
Not gonna get involved in this conversation. You want like
Your-
legit
your
size
waist-
with like
your-
the measuring tape?
Your
or,
waist
like, what
size is my
jeans I
chest
wear?
size when I get a suit.
Yeah, like I squeeze into 38s, 40,
30,
something.
40s.
So I wore 38s when I was in college.
Yeah, well, I wear a 38 regularly, and when I'm regularly at like 300, I'm a 38.
That's crazy.
I wear 32s if I feel like I want to wear like baggy jeans.
If you want to look like Fred Durst.
Yeah, like that's a classic look. that's a cool look.
I have kids that work for me now,
Yeah.
and they don't even know who that is.
You need to fire those kids.
It's literally half my
Those
staff.
kids don't know what the good times were back
know.
then. Now it's like they tell me like these rappers and everything. Don't you listen to Lil Boy? I'm like, Lil Boy who?
Which little
That's
boy?
a name? Lil Boy? I have no idea who that is.
We were last week. We had a like a slower Friday, so we're just organizing the warehouse, and we're just playing like like one of the like gold school rap stations on Spotify. And I kept asking my one employee, he's 22, like, who's this? And it'd be like Wu-Tang. He's like,
Okay.
and he'd be like, Biggie? I'm like, what?
Oh no.
And then like the next rapper would come on. I'm like, who's this? He's like, Biggie?
Oh,
like
no.
every single person was Biggie. It's like, come on, man. Like even a Tupac song came on. And he's like, I don't know. I'm like, dude, what?
These kids don't know what real music is.
Well, that's got to be a category now, like classic rap, right? Like we had classic rock. Do we have classic rap?
Right now,
Yeah, we have to, right?
I'm thinking it's something anywhere between under 2010s.
Yeah.
Like Lil Wayne is considered a classic rapper.
On
now.
Spotify, it'd be
Yeah.
like
Hot
2000s
Boys.
rap.
Oh no. I still
The
think
big white
when
T-shirt.
people still tell me like yeah, 10 years ago, I still think 2000.
I know.
I'm like, shit, this is how I know I'm old.
That's so true. Do
What?
you listen to music when you train?
Yeah, I just put on one song, and because I subscribe to like the YouTube Music app or whatever,
Okay.
so I can just play it even though the phone's like closed. I just put on one rap song and then I let like this auto playlist take over. So it just puts on anything that's similar to that one song. And I just do that.
Dude, I thought you were gonna say that you put on one song and listen to it on repeat.
Oh,
And
no.
I was like, holy
The whole
shit, this
time.
guy's a psycho.
No, just let AI take over. Yeah.
That's fair.
I like that. That's why I like Spotify, because they'll just make mixes for me.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's
just
what I do
make
with the
stuff
YouTube
up.
app.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I don't like to pick my music. I can't think.
Yeah.
Like if I'm like, I don't like come to the gym and I'm like, what am I going to listen to today? You know what I mean? I'm just like, I do the same thing. I'll do like, I'll go in there and do like, pick someone and just play like, it's like
Nickelback, right?
Yeah, like Creed.
Creed.
You'll play it. It'll be like the Creed playlist, and it'll be like stuff like them.
Yeah.
And it'll just go, and that way I don't have to pick out. Because there's a lot of songs like you don't think about it, but you're like, oh man, I love this. Like, you know what I mean? It'll pop up out of nowhere.
Like if I were to put like I don't like EDM, but if I put EDM,
I love EDM.
really?
Yeah,
Everything
I
after
like that
EDM,
shit.
you really
Yeah.
love that
Yeah.
shit too.
I don't know why.
Sounds
love
all the
lifting
same to
to
me.
it.
It does, but I like
Everything is-
that part
everything is
too.
all-
Open your ears, bro.
Everything is like, brrr, and then
Love
the next
that.
song, I hear the same shit. I'm like, is
Yeah.
this a new song?
I let the bass run through my body.
When
Has this song been
when I
running
lived
an hour? Like,
when I lived in California, there was a bunch of like lounges and bars,
Yeah.
and then you would go into the basement, and that they would have like the house music parties. And I think like there's a nostalgic part of that
Yeah.
music that just reminds
You
me
go
of
to
being a
EDM
kid.
festivals?
God no. I'm married and have a
too
kid.
old.
I'm not going to an EDM festival.
go to
Bad-
EDM festival.
bad
no.
Probably be fun.
No, dude. One of my employees went to an EDM festival
I
and
would
he
love
came back
to
and got
go,
sick.
but I'm just like,
Just go.
I need like a chair, bro, and they stand a lot, you know. Like I like the bump to the music in the gym.
The coolest thing was when Rob and the crew were at that festival and they were moshing with Shaq.
What? Wait,
When he
Shaq?
met Shaq,
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, he was in like the middle of the pit with them or
yeah.
whatever.
But he, you know, their mosh pits are a lot smaller than like a heavy metal mosh.
Well, yeah, it's different. They're there to have fun, not fuck somebody up.
I used to bounce for like a.
Yeah, but no one fucks anyone up in a heavy metal one. That was like I did one.
Dude, I went to a used concert and saw somebody get punched in the face.
Yeah, well, but the one that I was in one time is my only mosh pit ever, and like I literally went in for 2 minutes and like fell out, and I like needed to hit my inhaler. It was the most like cardiovascular taxing thing I've ever done, and but everyone in there was mad cool. Like they were just like getting hit and knocked over, and they were laughing and getting back up. And it was just like
I used to bounce for like a biker club, and they would always like book these like metal bands and everything. And then every time the mosh pit happens and all that, they look at me, the owner look at me and be like, just go in there, just make sure no one dies. And I'm sitting here like, these are metal heads that are like just trying to like have a good time, and like I don't know if I can handle that, even as big as strong as I am. And I usually don't have to police it, and every time I go over there, like these guys, someone would knock down on the floor, immediately like, the entire mosh pit stops, and they'd all go to the guy and knock down, and just pick them back up.
That's cool.
And I'm sitting there like, oh, all right, like maybe I don't have to do
They're
nothing.
self-governing.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, this is cool, this is cool.
There's a respect.
But then every time, I would get in the mosh pit, and we're like, okay, the big fucking guy's in the mosh pit. So no one holds back because you're the big fucking guy. Yeah. One step in there, I have like 170 guy named Chad over here who's a metalhead. 170 pounds is not much, but it's different when it's like sprinting at you. You know what I mean? It's sprinting at you. There's lights that are flashing everywhere. It's dark, so everything kind of moves like. Yeah. So I just see this guy coming up like like real fast. I'm like, oh, when's he gonna hit me? Boom. And then, like, I go on the ground and everything, and everyone like, oh, you're okay, man, you're okay. I'm like, I'm part of the staff. Leave me alone.
Did you feel like you were living Sons of Anarchy?
Every time when, like, we would have, like, the pagans come in, like, rolling, like, 12 deep or whatever, I would be the one that has to tell these guys, like, hey, man, you can't be wearing colors in here. And they'd be like, oh, yeah, okay, yeah, no problem. 15 minutes pass. Everybody's still wearing their jackets. Everyone's still wearing their colors. I'm like, okay, here we go. So then I have to get my boss. And even though as like muscular and like quote unquote intimidating as I am, my boss is like 6'6" and 350 pounds. So then he would go like, I'll talk to the president. You go ahead. You just go relax, son. That's what he says to me. I'm like, okay, all right. And so every time he talks to someone, like they're like, oh yeah, and next thing I know, 3 minutes pass, and like all the pagans are like taking their jackets off and everything, and I'm sitting here going like, am I a joke to you? Do you even need me as your bouncer? You know what I mean? You're 6'6", 350 pounds. Like I have all this muscle, but I'm 5'7", bro.
Yeah.
It's like looking up at a guy and be like, hey, you can't do that. Like,
dude,
like,
our one friend is 6'4", 6'6", 6'5", 280, and he's just like, fuck,
massive
man. Like,
yeah, it's a big human being, right?
Yeah, like.
Yep.
Muscles
there's no fighting that.
Muscle helps only so much, It's different when you're like, if you're tall and you fill out your frame, like you could be a world-class bodybuilder, but when you're 5'7", it's like, just looking up like that.
You ever see that meme with like Jay Cutler, Brian Shaw?
Oh yeah.
It's like the biggest bodybuilder, and then he looks like a midget next to Brian Shaw.
Like these strong men.
Yeah.
God, those guys are freaks on their own. When you're just that tall and just that big. And, like, what else are you going to do? You know what I mean? You're too big even for, like, the NFL. You know what I mean? You're just big.
I feel like they're all, like, the nicest guys, too. Because they never had to, like, prove themselves to anybody.
That's what
Nobody's
I'm saying,
messing with that guy.
Like, no one's... When you're, like, that huge, what are you going to get angry at, Yeah. If someone gets mad at you, you're just going to be like, I'll go in your house and throw your fridge away. There's nothing you can do.
When, earlier you talked about taking mass gainer, which I still can't believe.
Yeah,
but just out of curiosity, what other like supplements do you take? You don't have to say brands or anything, but just categories.
Creatine, fish oil, turmeric. That's it. Yeah.
You're not like a big pre-workout guy.
Oh yeah, pre-workout, but I mean, I don't really.
That's
count
not a
that.
supplement.
Yeah, that's like.
Yeah, it's for fun.
I count that as like just like a standard. That's like a ritual that everybody does before the gym. Some kind of caffeine, form of caffeine before the gym. But that's it, really.
Yeah, you keep it simple.
Yeah, just very. I stick to like what's proven to work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like fish oils and turmeric for like inflammation and joints and stuff. So I'm like, all right, this is proven to work. And people are all like, "Oh, BCAAs and all that." Like, I stay away from that.
Yeah.
I feel like if you're having enough protein in your diet, I don't think there's a need to take any BCAAs or whatever. If I had to choose between BCAAs or some form of it, I would at least go with EAAs. Because it's like that's like the complete core form of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, but then every time you take that step, you're just getting closer to a complete protein, right? Which raises the question of why don't you just take more protein?
Yeah, that's what. And you know what? During your workout, people are going like, "Oh, like you need the protein and everything when you're working out." I was like, "No, you don't." And I'm sitting there
Because
like,
you need a refractory period between meals.
Well, that's between meals. I personally respond better with like a carb source, a quick glycogen source. So like even in my bag right now, I have a shaker cup full of cereal.
Dude, that's
it.
you drink that during
What kind
your
of
workout?
cereal?
Oh no, I eat it.
You
What
eat it
kind of
before your
cereal?
workout.
Hey.
Oh, I eat it during my workout.
You eat cereal during your workout.
What
Yeah.
kind of cereal?
Honeycombs.
Okay, interesting.
Yes.
What's your
I do like
favorite
honeycomb.
cereal?
Like probably Cocoa Pebbles or or Fruity Pebbles.
Have you tried the
Fruity Pebbles are amazing.
Cocoa Pebbles and Fruity Pebbles proteins?
From Dymatize.
Yeah.
I tried the Fruity Pebbles one.
Did you like it?
The mass gainer I'm using is actually Dymatize.
Can you say that?
Yeah, it's alright.
So a lot of the kids now that buy the ISO 100 from us,
Yeah.
they're shaking up the Cocoa Pebbles or Fruity Pebbles and putting it in their cereal as the base.
Really?
Yeah. I feel like that's a meal like that you would eat.
Man, these are smart kids.
Yeah. The next generation is worth something.
I never had that. I never tasted it.
I will say,
But then again, I don't need to. 'Cause
I will
just
say,
mainline
the
boxing.
Dymatize protein supplements so far have been my favorite.
As far as like digestibility, flavors. All
Yeah,
that
it's
stuff.
just very balanced and everything. It's not overpowering everything. Redcons is like everyone swears it's the best, but it's like their sources are like not clean. It's not the best.
Yeah, I mean, every study points to whey having, the richest content of amino acids, right? So, like, why wouldn't you want whey? And
And also because Ashley is all like, "Yeah, this is great," and I'm like,
she's
okay.
hooked on that stuff, man.
I know.
She goes through a ton. I think her go-to is, fudge brownie. But yeah, she flies through that stuff.
But yeah, Dymatize right now, you guys are all right. I'll give that one to you so far. You can say that. You don't have to.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. So you take creatine. That's
Yeah, just generic brand, whatever works, whatever's cheap from the store. That's it. It's really hard to like mess up creatine.
the only thing you can really have is like impurities.
Yeah.
Right. So but I don't even know if there's like a study saying that the impurity matters or what that really means to the body, right? As far as absorption or efficacy or anything like that.
It's really hard to mess that up. You know what I mean?
But people do mess it up though.
God, those people are dumb.
Yeah, I've seen a lot in the supplement industry. Like when I first came in, like amino spiking was a big thing. Do you remember that? No, it's back in like 2014. Every company was putting like glycine, creatine, whatever had a high nitrogen value into
I did
the
hear
protein.
about this. I didn't know
because,
it was called amino spiking.
Yeah, because it was cheaper, and the way the FDA would test protein, and it's actually legal. It wasn't illegal to do it unless you were hiding it on the label, but it would count as you had to test protein content by nitrogen retention or nitrogen levels.
Okay.
And free-form amino acids had really high nitrogen levels, so the protein was too expensive. You could put cheaper free-form amino acids in there, get the nitrogen to where you need it, and then you could claim that for protein.
Oh, okay.
So like a ton of companies were doing that. So when we first started, we actually put up like a shelf in the corner of our little tiny store, and I showed people like, don't buy these brands. This is why. Like that was our shelf of shame. But yeah, that was all the way back in 2014. But a ton of brands were doing that. Earlier we talked about like heavy metals being in the product. So like, I think there is something to say about like quality, but probably over like long-term use and maybe like chronic issues.
Man,
that kind of stuff.
2014, I was nowhere near a bodybuilder at all. I was like a gym bro. I was like a genetically blessed gym bro. Yeah, I just curled, just pull-ups, and just did anything for the upper body, just to try to track women. That's it. Yeah.
Just out of curiosity, do you squat and deadlift?
I don't deadlift anymore, and I stopped squatting last year.
What are the reasons?
Deadlift, I stopped deadlifting because I'm lazy, and that shit's hard as fuck. That shit's hard, bro. That shit's hard as hell.
Yeah.
And if I can get it developed back without deadlift, I'm like, I'm sorry, deadlift. Goodbye.
It's fair.
And as for squatting, like I had a calf injury. My calf ruptured when I was squatting. And like ever since then, I was just like, all right, I am scared of this exercise forever.
Risk and reward, right?
Yeah, I'm like, all right, I'm not going to squat anymore.
What do you do for developing your legs now?
Now, leg press, lunges, and isolated machines. That's it. So my legs are so developed that sometimes I would not do legs for like 3 weeks. And then I would just do it. And then I would just prepare for a show, and it's like just fine. Like my feedback, they would mention nothing about my legs, which means like, all right, it's fine.
Yeah, why bother, right?
Yeah. So right now, I think I'm coming on week 7, skipping legs.
No shit.
Yeah.
Do you feel less masculine?
Nope. They're still big. They still have lines, and they're still striated. I'm like, all right, cool. People are like, man, your legs look great. I'm like, haven't done legs in like over 2 months.
Do you find that sometimes your muscles grow with less frequency, though? Or certain muscles, maybe?
I've never really tried it, to be honest. And I am curious about how my development would progress if I take like more rest days. So I usually do like 1 rest day, but I was thinking about playing around with like 3 rest days and just increasing my intensity or my workload on like 4 days of training. So it's something I'm open to trying.
Who makes that call? You or your coach?
I do all my training myself.
Okay.
That's for like nutrition and check-ins and body fat and like body composition and everything. Like he takes care of that stuff.
How long have you been working with him?
2018. I've been with him. He's like been my first and only coach so far. And it's like if it's like progressing and it's like working and like I'm progressing with my career and like I'm pro now and all that, then why change coaches?
Yeah,
You know what
you're
I mean?
healthy, right?
Yeah.
Like everything's good.
Yeah.
What? Just out of curiosity, like what made you choose him? Like how'd you get through that process?
He reached out to me.
Yeah, sure.
Because I was just lifting and I was like in the gym and everyone's always telling me like, hey man, you look like you could do a show or whatever, like you compete. I'm like, nah, and then that's it. Just like no, just like do my lifting. And he came up to me and he's all like, you should really try bodybuilding. And it's something I always thought about. I just never really like wanted to like go with it. And he kind of pushed me. He's like, hey man, it's fine. Bodybuilding. Here's my card. Call me, bro. He's like, we'll win. I'm like, okay. And then after a few months, I gave him a call. He's like, come into my office. And then we talked about it. And he's like, we're going to do this show, and you're going to win. And then 2019, and I did. I win. I won everything. Like, I swept every single category.
Yeah.
Like, I shattered everybody's dream.
Who's your coach?
David Pulcinella.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. His cousin Steve Pulcinella runs Iron Sport Gym.
Yeah.
Very strong power. Like, very...
He's strongman.
powerlifting
Yeah.
And strongman.
Did
centered gym.
Island Games, all that stuff.
Yeah.
He's a pretty cool guy.
Yeah, I'll be training over at Iron Sport on I think I'll try to be training over there on Friday.
They have the Nebula hack squat and leg press.
Yeah, they have
They're the
they
best.
have some good equipment over there. You
Yeah.
can tell that's definitely not
I
a
like that
conglomerate
gym a
run
lot.
gym. Yeah.
No, not even close.
It's a nice gym.
I know you could definitely go in there and you won't see like a lot. You won't any at all. You won't see any TikToking.
Are you training with anybody over there?
There's a girl over there that I've recently started training with. Her name is Layla, and she's actually another client of Dave's.
Okay.
And she's going to be doing her first show in figure for bodybuilding coming up in a couple weeks. Well, so I know she trains over at Iron Sport. So we kind of just got together, and she'll be training with me tomorrow. We'll be training legs. So it's either going to be at Iron Sport or at my loser conglomerate commercial gym.
Edge. Hey,
Yeah.
man, it's working so far.
I could train anywhere as long as there's iron and mirrors. Like I have no.
You
You're a
get
mirror guy?
interrupted a lot.
Yeah, I'm a bodybuilder, man. You got
I like the no mirrors in here.
like iron and mirrors. Like I gotta look at
You need to
myself.
look at
You know what I
yourself.
mean?
Feel that pump, get the pump going. You're like, yeah.
You know, so
Do you get like interrupted a lot at that commercial gym now?
yes,
Like all the time.
constantly.
Yeah.
And sometimes some people ask me like, how do you even work out? I make it work somehow, but it's always the younger crowd that always comes up to me and like just talks to me and everything. But I get interrupted every single day, even when I'm trying not to.
Could be worse.
I've gone at different times of the day too. It happens. It happens.
They could not even be like talking to you.
Well, it's funny because we had Sean Clarita in here, And when we're talking, he's like, I like to wear big T-shirts. He's like, I like gyms. I like gyms with no mirrors because I don't like to look at myself and be satisfied. So there's a different like mental triggers for different people.
When he's preparing for a show, he's notorious for that.
Yeah.
Like he will wear completely all covered up, and he won't look at himself in the mirror until like it's close to showtime.
Yeah.
And then he'll be like, "Yeah, there we go."
We had him in here when he had just started prep. I think it was like day 1 or something of prep.
I ran into him at Universe.
That's when he won the Olympia that year.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Yeah, it was cool. Just because he was so focused when he came in, and you could tell like he was just on to something. So.
Oh yeah, he with Sean, it is a lot of pressure for him to succeed because when you're that short, you're driven even more to like beat everybody, and he did. He even went into an open class.
He beat open
everybody.
Lifters.
Like that's
respect
earned, man.
That's crazy.
Who said they would quit if they lost?
Sergio.
Is he still lifting?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's not gonna quit. It's his only source of income.
Liar.
Sergio
Bodybuilding.
Clarita's like the. Like I'm always like, if you're under 200 pounds, whatever. But he's the exception. I'm like, unless you're like, I'll use that. Like, unless you're Clarita.
Dude, I love the way
he looks crazy,
man.
dude.
He works so hard in the gym.
Yeah.
He's strong as hell. Who's he like benching like 175-pound dumbbells or something?
Know.
Oh hell,
Just stupid.
He's very strong.
Like
very strong man.
Oh my God, it's like he's carrying a middle-aged woman in each hand.
Mm-hmm.
A heavy middle-aged woman in each hand.
Yeah, that's. Yes. A thick middle-aged woman.
But I guess we'll pull the trigger and wrap it up here. I think people should follow you. I think you're. I do honestly think that you're like the model that people should follow.
Yeah,
right?
you're a cool
Train
guy.
natty for 10 to 12 years. Maybe experiment with the minimal amount of stuff that you need to. The fact that I have a friend who actually turned pro in classic, and he did the same thing you did. He trained natty for about 12 years. He almost turned pro in men's physique like 2 or 3 times, and then he went to the enhanced route for about a year and got his pro in classic. So like he followed almost the exact same thing.
It's important, man. Because like it's important longevity also.
Yeah.
Because then your body will respond really well to just using that very minimal amount of enhancement.
Yeah, I also think like when you take too much stuff, it shows, right?
Yeah.
Like you can look at somebody, like, maybe you're pushing it a little too hard.
Yeah.
So that declines their marketability. And part of the reason why people want to turn pro is to be marketable to make money, right?
Yeah.
So like if you look like you're just taking a ton of shit, you're no longer marketable for the the supplement company, the clothing company, whatever it may be. So I think the less you can get away with, it's really going to work in your favor in the long run.
Oh, definitely. Everything is a business, man. And this is no longer bodybuilding. Bodybuilding was bodybuilding back then. But now, it's not bodybuilding anymore. It's the quote-unquote fitness industry. It's an industry now.
Do you care about the business side? Financially, all that stuff?
No. Like, I just want to win. Yeah.
So it's more of a hobby to you than it is a career?
Yeah, I love bodybuilding. But, and I understand you can make money and stuff off it. But, if I cared more about the money, then I wouldn't be progressing and going as well as I did. I want to win. I want titles. I want things that you can't really buy with money. The glory, the prestige, the better than physique than other world-class athletes. I want to win. Winning, you can't put a price on winning.
Right.
Victory is victory through and through.
So are you doing YouTube, or are you just doing Instagram?
No, I feel like, I'm just doing Instagram. I feel like I'm not interested in doing YouTube or anything until I actually prove that I'm really good at this thing.
Yeah, but look at Christian Guzman, man. He was filming his YouTube stuff when he was 15, and people fell in love with the guy, and then he progressed into this, this business. He's a money-making machine now.
I feel like I have to be a somebody in this business first before I actually decide to do it.
Before you feel comfortable
Yeah,
with it.
before I want to be good at bodybuilding first. And people say dude, you are good, you're a pro. I want to be a good pro.
You hold yourself to a higher standard.
Yeah, I want to win first. And for me, what about the followers and the following and everything? People love winners. And if you're not winning, you're not going to attract people to support your journey. So I feel like you got to win first. And everything else comes with winning. The followers, the fame, the glory, the money. That all comes with winning. So that's what I focus on. Winning a show. Everything else is just icing on the cake.
That's fair. All right, so you're an Instagram guy. If people want to follow you, what's your handle?
My name, Eric _Abelon, ABELON. That's it.
It's easy enough.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
I thought it was like Avalon, like a singer.
That would be like way sexier.
We're Avalon
Yeah,
Beach.
like,
That'd
that's
be
what I
way
was
cooler.
I was like, damn, Avalon. Like, is this a singer guy?
That would be cooler, man.
Ricky Avalon.
Oh man.